Hey crafty friends, it's Emily and today we're talking all about the vertical pocket die. This is an A2 sized pocket that I designed with this beautiful meticulous design at the top and pre-score lines here with some flaps. So I just want to cut this out in a white cardstock just so I can show you all the details and how to fold this pretty little pocket. So I designed this pocket to go perfectly with our gift card holder die, the original. It'll also fit the bow, which ends up being really cute vertically in there. And so let's poke out all these cute little holes. Typically, this is a pretty heavy cardstock weight I have, but if you run like a normal under 80-pound cardstock through here, all the holes will pop out. So we have this really intricate design detail that was actually inspired by a historical home that we live near. And the only other die I feel like you're going to want to purchase if you don't already have is our card sentiment dies, and this is our A2 liner die. So I designed our pocket dies, both the horizontal and the vertical, to line up with the A2 liner die, and this is just so it makes it a little bit easier as far as assembling the card and then being able to put the card onto your card base. So I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm cutting out this pretty blue floral as a background, so we have both of our elements here, and now I'm going to show you how to fold down the edges. So you see those little score lines there, you're just going to go through and carefully fold them down. Again, this is a little bit thicker paper, so I'm just going to use my bone folder from my scoreboard to fold it down neatly and make it all crisp and tight there. So this is going to give you 3 flaps, so you'll see on this side how they all line up perfectly at the bottom, and that's exactly where you're going to end up putting your tape. So it makes it really simple to create a pocket, and it's also beautifully decorated at the top there, so you can use it for virtually any occasion. And then, so here are the flaps, and I'm just going to use some Crafty Power tape. I do like a stronger tape like this, like Crafty Power tape, rather than like a tape runner. You could definitely use glue, and then that way you can kind of easily put it on even better. So I do like the strong tape though, because it does make it nice and sturdy since we're working with the pocket. I learned this really neat trick where you can put tape on the inside bottom half of the pocket, so I'll show you. It'll be a little bit more clear what I'm doing when we put this down. So you're going to line up the bottom with the bottom and just make sure the sides are lined up, and then see how the tape is down there. We're not going to peel that backing off, we're just going to leave it, and then you're just going to fold it up and then make sure it's aligned on the sides, and it should be because it's the same size as the A2 liner, so it's a 4-inch wide once the flaps are folded in. So that looks perfect. And then this way, with that tape on the bottom, it kind of helps with the things that you're trying to insert into the pocket go in a little bit smoother. So that's a really neat trick. And then this is our original gift card holder die, and obviously you can do more, like you can add word dies to the front, or our stamps here like you see with that pretty detail. You can put it on the inside of your card like we did here. And again, it fits our gift card holder, but it also fits stuff like journaling cards as well. So today I think I'm going to do an A2 size, like a regular horizontal, which is kind of confusing because we're doing a vertical pocket card. I think it's a horizontal, yeah. So it's a side fold instead of the top fold. And so here I had some highs, and so I decided to line those up, and I thought I was going to put it on my pocket, but then I decided I think I'm going to put it on the front. And then I found these gift tags that were already in the pattern paper, and I thought this was super cute because it says hello. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to pair this with the high and put it on the front of my card, and then I'll just decorate my pocket card separately. But that way this front has the same background as my pocket background. And then we're getting a little bit of yellow in there, which looks really nice. And then I had a couple hearts, so I glued those together, and that makes a really cute dot for the eye. For the eye in the high. So instead of having to use the little dot, you can use the heart, and the heart is from our decorative sentiment dies, one of those chunky banners. So that's really fun to implement that. So here I decided I need a little bit more yellow, I think, on the front. So I'm going to show you how I cut out a gift tag. I had a lot of questions about this when I did this in a shorter video, and I just kind of move it because our gift tag die is obviously a lot smaller than these gift tags if you were to just cut them out by hand. But when you move it, and I mean, even if you're cutting off a little bit of the design, it still looks really cool. So I just really like the crispness of die cutting, obviously, and I think that looks really neat. And then I thought the layering of this was really cool, but I really wanted to make sure I aligned the top ovals so it looked a little more natural, but it had a little bit of yellow poking out, so it looks good. I lifted up the adhesive there, and it's nice because the tape runner isn't as strong, right? So you're able to move it around. And now I'm just tying a little bit of my baker's twine onto the top of my gift tags, so just it looks a little more cohesive, and that's looking really cute, that bow, and it's kind of behaving today. So just trimming the edges off, and then I'm just applying a little bit more tape so it all stays down. And then I have that doily also to differentiate between the blues of the background and the gift tag. The doily is so much fun to use from the shaker frame die. It's really just a neat different element. I really enjoy using that. And so here, this is going to look really pretty. This is our front of our card though, so I'm like, okay, instead of finishing that first, let's work on the inside. And I have this journal card, so journaling cards will fit really nice in the pockets as well, but I wanted to show you how you can add a frame to that. I have one of our really popular videos is the frames to make for those, so I'm going to do that in this video as well. But here I'm stamping on from our Just Wanted to Say stamp set, in case you forgot, and then I decided on You Are Awesome. So this is really fun to do. I have some Glacier, and this is the Sizzix stamp and stencil tool, so this one's really nice, sticks really well. I've been using it a lot more lately. And then here is our journaling card, and then here's our gift card holder I decided to cut out in that yellow. And so now I'm cutting out a decorative frame, and then I'm just going to trim down my journaling card a little bit. You do need to trim it a little to make sure it fits quite perfectly on that decorative frame. And it looks pretty in white, but I decided I'm going to take some of the Glacier, which is the same ink I used for my stamps, and I'm going to run through each side here, and you'll see how the embossed portion stays white. I just really love this technique, so we're going to put that aside to dry, and then I'm just going to wipe down my glass mat, which is super easy to clean. That's something we have available at Emily Moore Designs. And then I have some solar spray here, and I'm covering up my ink bits so that it doesn't get too runny or anything. And the solar spray is just going to add another little bit of shimmer and color, so you can see that there. Woo, when you turn it, that's so pretty. And then I have these rub-on transfers because I felt like, okay, this pocket's super cute, but it's still very plain at the bottom, and I needed to add more. So here are some super cute rub-ons, and I'm just going to go around do some flowers here and there, and just kind of keep with the style, but also decorate it a little bit more. So that turned out really cute. And then for this part, I have the yellow frame A2 liner with the large card sentiment die, the large decorative die, I'm sorry. So I put that together, and now my frame is dry, so I'm putting my journaling card on here. And then I realized that this order might be a little confusing, so I'm just kind of working on the elements of the inside of my card. And then I decided to tape my gift card holder die onto the back of my journaling card frame that I created, and that way you can just flip it over and then have a gift card in there, and I just made sure to line it up as best I could. Nice, and those, make sure you just don't tape over those flaps, and then you'll be all good. Look how cute, how pretty that looks. That looks awesome. And then this is the other side of the inside of my card, so I had decided to add some more rub-on transfers, and this is just the part where you'd write oh, I love you so much, and happy birthday, or whatever it is you're celebrating, or just because. So this will go on the inside right side of my card, right hand side. Looks good. And just make sure to line it up. And this is what I love about our A2 liner die, is that it provides a really nice skinny frame. So even here, so see how easy this is going to be. So now, because that lines up perfectly with our A2 frame, you literally can just glue this down, tape it down, and then make sure it's nice and straight, and then that's done. And that's as simple as that is. So I think that that's super cool. And then you can obviously flip that over and have the gift card in there, and I'll show you the gift card a little later. And then here I'm going to finish the front of my card now, and I'm just going to use a tape runner because I felt like if I tried to use foam it might get a little hard dimensionally with the word die. And I think my high looks pretty good because I stacked 3 different layers on it, so it looks really nice as far as the dimensional portion. I'm putting a little glue on here just to make sure it stays nice and good on the front of my card. I typically use adhesive sheets, but it's nice to also have glue, and then that way you know it's going to stick really, really nicely. And then I'm also going to glue down that heart. I really love this element. I learned this from one of our retailers. Her name's Mandy. Shout out to Mandy. And she was like, what if you did the heart? And it turned out so perfect. I did put my large magnet on there to help it dry and stay flat. And then voila, this is our card. How beautiful are these colors? And here's that pocket. How fun is this? You got that shimmer, and then you have that beautiful journaling card. You flip it over. Here's our gift card, and you can just tuck it in that way if you want with the gift card, and then they can flip it over and have the pretty journaling card. And that's that beautiful pocket die. So I hope you love this. This is how you use our vertical pocket die. Thanks so much for watching.